winners. Sacramento State's never beaten San Francisco here in San Francisco in West Series history. So tonight, if they were to get something from this game, it would be the first result that they'd ever get in their program history in San Francisco this evening.
This is the challenge for the Dons. You have a lot of these schools coming in, playing up, really gearing up for these Dons. The Dons have been on a run before that road trip back to Oklahoma. So these teams like Sacramento State are really going to be playing out of their minds to try to get the win here tonight.
Field. Now, dropping down here by Theo. This. Now on her right. Tricky little player from Theo. All the way back to Ariana Nino. Again. Clearly like
I expect them to hit that. They're sitting back, trying to see what Sac State has to offer. Maybe they look a little sluggish.
Again, switching the field. Very nice. The feet of Pino. Back to the feet of Bustillos. Excuse me. On her left, and it's just wide.
It's better. Used to go to either side just a little bit further. She would have much greater angle. But she chose to take that early shot and miss the frame altogether.
So far, the sophomore from Mililani, Hawaii.
Technical player, I really haven't seen her penetrate yet. So the shots or the position she had haven't been really too dangerous. Not yet.
Toyful for San Francisco. She is upended there. Very talented winger. We really got a lot of confidence in her, starting her out wide right. Loves to run people 1v1. She's very fun to watch.
Well, she's got a lot of pace. Look for Izzy Lucan with the left foot here to bend this to the back post. I think this is going to be close enough for a shot, a direct shot on goal. And look for the USF Dons to follow this up on a rebound or...
So there's 3 in the wall. The 9th minute here at Mega West Coast State. Lucan stands behind the ball, a couple steps behind it. Sun beginning to set this behind us. There's a little bit of sunlight as well. Lucan, nice little chip, and doesn't beat the wall there. But she chases it down. Gets to the corner, stops, turns, plays it to her left, and finds Micaiah Madison, her first touch of the night. She swerves it in, and it's at the back post for Samantha Jennings! San Francisco 1, Sacramento State 0. And there's the wake-up call that you were talking about, Joe Dugan.
And I think this is going to build the momentum for USF Dons. Samantha Jennings getting back on the score sheet after starting the season with 4 goals out of the gate. Few games she's had a little dry spell, but great to see her back on the score sheet. Again, Micaiah Madison creating havoc, crossing the ball, as she's done so dangerously all season long. Samantha Jennings gets on the end of it and puts the ball in the back of the net. 1-0 USF.
Her 6th goal of the year, now in her 9th match. A pretty impressive record for the redshirt junior. And how about that? A goal in the opening 10 minutes from a team that lost both games last weekend. And I'm sure they want to be able to be on the front foot for the rest of the night.
Well, I would expect the Dons to keep this pressure on. Sacramento State hasn't shown too much through the midfield. They have shown a bit up front when they eventually get the ball up there. But I think if I was USF, I would start putting the pressure on a little bit more, a little higher on the field, not allowing Sacramento State to get into their offensive third.
Well, here is Sac State. Again, they were very dangerous in the opening 6-7 minutes. Won a couple of corners here, taken by Littlefield. And again, Kylie Kim-Bustillos was terrific. And we'll have to see how they respond, because that was very much against the run of play, the San Francisco goal.
Well, anytime USF Dons can get down on the flanks, on the wings, and crossing the ball over, they're extremely dangerous, as we saw there on that last goal by Samantha Jennings.
This is Micaiah Madison. Madison, she's hauled down. No call, says the referee.
And everyone was right there, and you don't see Micaiah Madison complaining, so that looked like a fair tackle. But once again, she's causing a lot of danger for Sacramento State defense by flying down that right wing. If she could just release that ball just a little earlier, she's going to create even more danger.
So now another San Francisco free kick as Kalena Teufel goes to ground again for the second time in a matter of minutes. And can San Francisco find something else from this just after they scored?
Now, unlike the last time, Izzy Lucan tried to just float the ball over the wall or the back line there. I'd like to see her have a shot on goal. Much more dangerous if she does.
Here's Lucan, left-footed chance. Oh, and it just hits the bar, and Micaiah Madison follows it in.
And that's the danger that she creates when she shoots directly on goal. Looks like the linesman is calling offsides. Probably not a goal here. But it would be great to see this on replay, because the ball should be in front of the players. Don't know how it can be offsides unless the player lined up offsides, and she did not. So I don't see it. The ball's in front of them. Ooh, that's a really tough call. I don't see that as being offsides at all.
We'll need our side angle for that. Central referee looking at the official there, and it is ruled a goal. So it is San Francisco 2, Sacramento State 0. Here in the 13th minute on the WTV.
And I think that's the right call. I'm glad to see the referees confer before they made a quick decision to disallow that goal. Now, USF has to stay within their game strategy. They have to stay within the game plan. They can't be too overexcited. A lot of times when you score these goals back-to-back, everyone wants to get on the score sheet. But that's not always in the game plan. Game plan is to play through the midfield, high press them, for example, which they're doing right here, right now. Dispossess Sac State in their own defensive third, as they have just now.
So throw in here for San Francisco on the far side. 2 goals in the opening 13 minutes or so. Haven't even played 15 yet. This is Madison. Taken to the feet of Michaela Reed. And it's out for a San Francisco throw-in. Sacramento State, they've had their wobbles this year. They've lost 4 games by the score of 2-1 this season. And they are 1-5-1, but their record doesn't show as such. They won 3-2 last week against the University of Nevada. And they're still kind of a bit of a work in progress. 7 of the 8 goal scorers for Sacramento State are all underclassmen so far this year. And so they are building something potentially for the future, potentially a rebuilding year. But they've made the postseason, not the tournament of the NCAA tournament, but the Big Sky tournament that they play in every year as well. And they're looking to make that 4 years in a row. But of course, down 2-0 here. Bit of a different storyline for them.
Well, it sounds like they have a bright future ahead of them. They have a lot of underclassmen who are getting involved, getting engaged in games, getting on the score sheet. So that's a sign of bright future for Sac State.
Here's Michaela Reed out of the back, brought down here by Carly Weeks. Weeks, the freshman who's started in every single game for the San Francisco Dons and is really one of the top recruits that Jim Millender has this year.
And this is the style of play I expected a little bit earlier from the USF Dons. You see them, they're trying not to let the Sac State out of their half, out of their own defensive third. They're high pressing them, hoping to win the ball and then go to goal directly.
Here's Ariana Nino trying to clear, but she finds Izzy Lucan, and Lucan's little run down the sideline results in a goal kick now for Sac State.
And that's a very positive sign for USF. How busy Izzy Lucan is, how much ball play she's got on this left flank. Not only do they have Micaiah Madison on the right, but now they have Izzy Lucan back from injury and really engaged in this game.
Here is Autumn Smithers looking for Lucan. Excuse the alliteration there. And now a corner kick for San Francisco.
I will excuse that. Now, anytime you have the ball crossed across the face of the goal, I think this is going to be a dangerous play. Sacramento State goalkeeper is not the tallest of goalkeepers, so as she struggled on that last ball, if they put the ball in the right area, this could be very dangerous for the Sac State defense again.
Here's Carly Weeks on the corner and cleared away for a San Francisco throw. The Hornets clear it. This is Tiffany Miras, and it's a San Francisco throw here in the 16th minute, leading 2 goals to nil. Goals from Samantha Jennings and Micaiah Madison. Again, this is the first meeting between the two teams in 6 years. This is Madison, and now Jennings. Jennings laying off for Carly Weeks. And Kaylin Evans is right there for San Francisco.
Fantastic combination amongst 3 players with 1 touch each. And then they penetrated into the box. Unfortunately, Meeks could just not get a hold of that as she wanted to. Had she, I think it would have been in the back of the net.
Brought down by Cat Hill here. Headed on by Jennings. And now Kalena Teufel looking to get to it. Bit of a misposition there by Teufel. And it's jammed in between a couple of Sacramento State players.
As you can see from these goals by USF, I think sometimes games need a goal, even for the team or perhaps the favorite of the two to really pick up their game. And I think that's been the case here tonight early on.
You can see they're very rejuvenated this evening, and the wind is at their sails. But, you know, Coach Jim Millender, when we talk to him before matches, he always says that he likes to press. He wants to press at home. It's important for San Francisco to press, and that's an important thing that they like to do, to be able to march out and really make a statement, make Nego-Esco Stadium a fortress and pick up points at home, pick up confidence at home, because they train on this field in the spring and, of course, in the summer and, of course, now fall, a.k.a. autumn, in this specific time period where they play. Now, this is Micaiah Madison, 1v1, defender slips. This is still Madison on her left. Madison unselfishly for Jennings! Samantha Jennings with her second. San Francisco 3, Sacramento State 2.
And the second assist from Micaiah Madison to Samantha Jennings. Now, how will USF react? We know that Sac State's going to try to bounce back into this game, but how is USF going to react? Are they going to still high press? Are they still going to move the ball quickly throughout the field, continuing to attack? Or are they going to be satisfied to sit back?
Well, brilliant play there by Micaiah Madison, who laid off for Samantha Jennings. San Francisco, three goals in this opening 17 minutes. This is Sarah Sherwood now in the corner. Marie Marlowe dispossessed. And there's Olivia Camera for San Francisco.
And being the well-coached team that USF Dons are, Jim Millender is going to demand that they continue to execute the game plan, moving the ball quickly, trying to continue to attack the flanks and get the ball across the face of the goal.
Madison looking to head on there for Lukin. Madison top of the area. Madison for Kalena Teufel! San Francisco 4, Sacramento State 0, and the rout is on.
Now, unfortunately, even in Division I, you're going to have some lopsided results, but this game is far from over. Last year, UCLA men came into this complex and were up 4-0, I believe, at halftime, only to have the game end in a 5-3 result. So this game is far from over. But it certainly looks like at these times in between goals, Sac State is defeated. They're not showing a lot of shape, not moving the ball very well. Let's see if they can bounce back and make a game of this.
Again, Sacramento State, they've never won here in San Francisco in the series history between the two sides.
And this is, sorry, Charles, go ahead. I think this is a test, though, for these players and this team to come together for the USF Dons. They can't mentally be lackadaisical, even with a 4-0 lead. They need to continue to press, move the ball quickly, play their game, and not come down to the opponent's low level right now.
I think that was Micaiah Madison's third assist of the game, because she definitely passed it off there. To take a look at that, statistic-wise, this is Kalena Teufel, and she's upended again by Julia Herrera.
And for the safety of the players, I really need to see a caution from the referee on that. Pulling a player from behind, that can't be allowed. That's what a caution does. It says if you do it again, you're going to have to leave the game. You can see the replay here, clearly beat, and then the defender has no choice in her mind but to pull the attacker down.
Excuse me, that's Erica Munoz with the foul. Now, maybe something from the training ground here. This is Marie Marlowe onto her left foot, now onto her right foot. Marlowe, a shot from distance. And the goalkeeper, Evans, sprawls over to her left side. And with 20 minutes played, San Francisco will make their first substitution of the evening. It will be Kalena Teufel withdrawn. Michelle Feinberg moves into central midfield, and Emily Pye reverts to the back line.
And again, this game is far from over, and this is never the way Jim Millender is going to think. But it is nice to give these some of these starters a break. There's a game in a short amount of time on Sunday against a Hawaii team that has some potential.
Emily Pye must have gotten her footing wrong there, or her positioning.
Well, like I said earlier, the dampness, the dew is coming in tonight. It's unfortunate to see so many players slip uncontested, but they are going to make the most of this game. Both teams are going to continue to compete.
Here's Autumn Smithers, a senior leader and captain of this side. Always means something to her. She scored the game winner 2 weeks ago against New Mexico with 7 seconds left to go. You weren't here with me in our broadcast position, but it was what a wonderful moment for Autumn Smithers, and she'll remember that for the rest of her career.
I was here with you in spirit. Certainly watched the replay.
Jennings now, top of the 18, looking to turn. Madison now. Going back to Cassidy Kallmeyer, who's now playing right back today. Usually plays left back this year, but was right back all last year.
Versatile player. Really, in those plays right there, you want to look for feet, not space. This is a team, Sac State, that you can possess against, and that's even more reason why you want to play the ball to your teammates' feet and not to space.
Here's Marlowe. And now Lukin on for Weeks. Great little 1-2 here. Weeks and Jennings. Weeks still on her feet, and she unfortunately loses her footing there.
That was a fantastic build-up. USF has a lot more time than they think. A lot of times they're trying to pass those one-touch balls up front, but they actually have more time than that.
Lots of substitutions here for San Francisco. We'll give all of those to you in just a second. I believe Sylvia Sloss now playing on the left side for Izzy Lukin. Also, Sydney Cooper now at the striker position for Samantha Jennings. Beth Ann Perry now in the match as well. And an outside back, I believe, is Nicole Kelsey. Pye, and now Kelsey all the way back to goalkeeper Olivia Camera. We're just halfway through this first half. A flurry of 4 goals by San Francisco. Just holding down the game plan, says Ariana Nino. Her ball looking for Caitlin Prophy. Not there. Quick diagonal for Carly Weeks. By herself, Weeks cutting into the 18 and winning a corner. Looks like the referee did take a second here and gives a goal kick.
And that was very well defended by the Sac State defender. Carly Weeks tried to push that ball, get the defender on her back. She just couldn't speed up just enough. Well played by the Sacramento State defender.
Goal kick taken by Kaylin Evans. Evans had 10 saves last week against CSUN in a game that Sacramento State lost on Sunday in overtime. They've been to 3 overtimes, Sac State. So, again, all their games have been close, except they have not conceded this amount of goals before in any of their matches. As I told you before, they've lost 4 games by the score of 2-1. And so they are scoring goals too, and they're not giving up a ton. Tonight is a little bit of a different story, but Kaylin Evans very much in a goalkeeping battle as well, with Ailey Collins in the picture as well.
And we've seen the Sacramento State defense and goalkeeper struggle on these balls. So if there's enough air under this ball and it gets into the center of the park, look for danger.
Well, Cat Hill standing behind the ball, raises her hand. Cat Hill, the goalkeeper comes out, and Kaylin Evans is right there. Marlowe, diagonal down the left. San Francisco maintaining possession through the sophomore Emily Pye. Versatile, she can play in the defensive midfield position or at center back. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Camera. And the ball finds its way to Sarah Sherwood. She's mixed up in traffic here. Sherwood running to her right side, and Marlowe has to step in and make the tackle. We'll throw in here for Ariana Nino. Goes through the foot of Caitlin Prophy. Here's Micaiah Madison. Fancy a run or a hike? Here she is. Into the feet of Sylvia Sloss. Playing at left wing, couple step-overs. And finds Weeks. Weeks onto her right foot. Still running at pace. It's Carly Weeks. And her shot.
And I like that idea. It looked a little bit ambitious, but if that's on frame, that's a really dangerous shot.
Got about 18 minutes and 43 seconds to go here on the W.TV. Charles Wolin, Joe Dugan with you in the heart of San Francisco. One of the most centralized positions in the middle of this great city. Negoesco Stadium, named after your former coach, Steve Negoesco.
Absolutely. He built this stadium with the help of a lot of soccer alumni, a lot of community leaders, and it's no better way to pay tribute to a great man and a great soccer coach.
5 national championships for Steve Negoesco. Excuse me. And 6 overall. One of them won by Gus Donahue, who preceded Steven Negoesco.
Well, you might say he has 6 because he was a player for Gus on that first national championship team.
Saw Steve Negoesco actually at my synagogue last week for Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. He is a proud member of Temple Emmanuel on the corner of Arguello and Lake Street. And it was funny because I was in the pews and I looked up and he was sitting in the most central position in row 1 of the synagogue. And I looked over and I gave my dad a nudge and I said, hey, look who's sitting upstairs, Steve Negoesco. Still kicking on here and around age 90, 91 now. Very much a Bay Area soccer legend. Free kick now to Sacramento State.
I believe he's 94.
On for Pruffy, and it goes through. Sacramento State looking to find something here as San Francisco makes another 4 changes, and Sacramento State has their first change of the evening.
Wow, there's a contrast.
Well, clearly, Randy Dedini does not like to change. This is Ali Zwerling. Excuse me, Zwerling in the match. And a plethora of substitutions here for San Francisco. Ball headed on. Brought down by Profi. Into the feet of Kim Bustillos. And Bustillos is offside. But again, Bustillos, one of the ones to watch for this Sacramento State side to really kick on. She is a very special player, technical, and she had a couple of chances in this first 5 minutes of this game, including Sacramento State really being on the front foot. The Hornets coming out and showing USF a different kind of energy that they're not used to seeing, and then USF has now kicked on, obviously, with 4 goals here in this first half. This is Kelsey at the right back spot. On here for Sydney Cooper. Overlapping run. And it's going to go for a goal kick.
And Sydney Cooper has a point there. If you notice on the replay, if we can get a shot of this, she wins the ball even after being tugged. It threw her off on that final pass, but the referee let play go on and did not call it back, even though you could argue advantage was not had. So now with these subs, Charles, I don't know except... No, I think they've subbed everyone out except for Olivia Cameron, the goalkeeper. That's the USF Dons.
And if you're Coach Jim Millender with a game on Sunday, we talk about this all the time in broadcasting these matches for college students in between the ages of 18 and 23, 24, if they elect to have a 5th or 6th year, whatever. But it's very, interesting in player development, which you're a specialist at, to have game, rest 24 hours, if not, or 30 hours, and then another game.
And this gives these substitutions and these younger players for the USF Dons some meaningful minutes in a very good game. So sometimes they'll get minutes, but they'll get 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. This gives them significant minutes. Who knows? They could play the whole second half.
It's all about saving the legs, because once you get to conference play, it's really the business end of the year. And you only get around 8 to 10 matches to prove your worth in the conference, no matter what conference you're in.
And it's all about the conference. As we saw from the USF men's Dons last year, not having the greatest record coming into conference, and then went on an absolute tear to win conference, and then go in to the second round of the NCAA playoffs.
A corner kick now to San Francisco. Just around 15 minutes or so or less to go. We're in the 32nd minute here at Negoesco Stadium. It's going to be taken by Sylvia Sloss on her left foot. Emily Pye is in there. Ashley Humphreys now in the game. Plenty of players swerved on in, and it hits the outside of the near post stanchion, so it'll be a goal kick. And again, for San Francisco, they've never been to the NCAA tournament. That's why Jim Millender is the head coach here. Brought a lot of stability thus far to this program. Now, this is Michaela Mercado on here for Humphrey. Mercado on the right side near the corner flag. Brought down. Crosses the ball in here. Sacramento State trying to clear. They finally do.
A little frenetic there by both teams. You'd like to see both teams calm down a little bit, play a little bit more consistent passes together, put a few more consistent passes together. Obviously trying to find their way as the USF Dons have made so many different substitutions. But again, this gives them an opportunity, this second team perhaps, for the USF Dons to gel, get some significant minutes, show Jim Millender and staff that they want to be on the first team. They want to be starters.
Swerved on in, and the goalkeeper, Kaylin Evans, is right there.
Very nice cross, but even better save by the Sacramento State goalkeeper. See, Sacramento State is having a very difficult time breaking the defensive line, midfield line of the USF Dons, not able to get past that middle line there in possession.
This is Michaela Mercado. Heads on here. Brought down by Humphrey. I've been very impressed by Ashley Humphrey. She has 2 goals to her name. Very important one against New Mexico as well 2 weeks ago. This is Sydney Cooper. The end line. Cooper onto her right foot. Crossed on in. And it's a throw in for San Francisco. So plethora of changes for the San Francisco Dons. And Sacramento State, they've only made a couple of changes as well on their side.
And that is surprising to me. But their coach knows their team best, and this is what he's trying to do. He's probably trying to, let them play through adversity and see if they can come out of it.
Have to go back to 2010, the last time Sacramento State made the NCAA tournament. On the women's side, they have 2 appearances in their program history. The program's been around since 1994.
And I believe the USF men play Sacramento State coming up this Thursday, if I'm correct, Charles, here at Negoesco.
They do, coming up Thursday this week. Joe, you and I will have our hands full with lots of broadcasts, both on the men's and the women's side of things here at Negoesco Stadium.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Of course, you don't want to miss us, as always, so we appreciate you for tuning in. On Sunday, we have the Rainbow Warriors from Hawaii visiting as well, which should make for a great match. 4-0 is the score. San Francisco really taking to task Sacramento State after a bit of an argy-bargy first 7 minutes or so. Humphrey, San Francisco, Sloss, and now Nicole Kelsey. And Nicole Kelsey is barged into, and she'll have herself a free kick.
And this is probably the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a Sacramento State player tug on a jersey. And, it wasn't a harmful foul, but it's still stopping the momentum of an attacking play.
There's Erica Sosa, the freshman from Huntington Beach. 2 in the wall here. It is Sosa and Sherwood. Swerved on in, headed on by Sydney Cooper. Sac State trying to clear. Now Sosa again. Finds her teammate, Skylar Littlefield.
And you can see Sacramento State just does not have the numbers up in order to connect passes to anybody in the advanced position of the field.
Preparing another substitution on the far side, Sac State. Again, the 14th overall meeting between the two sides. Sacramento State has never won in San Francisco. They are 0-6 against the Dons. This is the very talented freshman Beth Ann Perry. Perry looking for Sydney Cooper. Brought down here by Ashley Humphrey. And Humphrey on her left foot goes wide. 2 goals to her name so far this year. And again, one last week against Oklahoma, one the week before against New Mexico. I'm sure she'd like to get on the score sheet as well. She's not in the starting 11, but she's in and out of the starting 11.
And you can see that attacking play, which in any attacking play where you see these players looking for a goal, you got to like that. You got to like that as an attacking player. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too far away and not on goal.
Here is Emily Pye. Nice run out of the back for Pye. Into the feet of Michaela Mercado.
And Mercado did a very good job to get on the end of that ball. This turf is very fast, and that was a heavily weighted ball. So again, she did very well to catch up to that.
Nicole Kelsey now. Into the feet of Beth Ann Perry. Back to Cassidy George. Here's Mercado. Looking for Sylvia Sloss. Dealt with, though, by the Hornet backline. Ball over the top here. Brought down. Emily Pye running into traffic. And looks like the referee is going to go to the book here because it is Sosa's second infringement.
And there was no intent there, but they definitely got tangled up, and Pye had the possession of the ball. So a good call by the referee.
Well, Emily Pye will take this free kick with 5 minutes and 32 seconds to go on the W.TV. 4-0 for San Francisco in this match. This is Michaela Mercado once more. Tricky player, Michaela Mercado, comes off the bench. I don't fancy her in the starting 11 just yet, but maybe making her way potentially for conference play into that starting 11. But the midfield for this San Francisco side is so very competitive.
And you like to see this ball movement by USF. Now they've strung together 3, 4, 5, and 6 passes. They need to be a little bit more patient when they get to that final pass in the offensive third. They're, again, kind of rushing themselves, and unbeknownst to them at the time, they do have more time than that. And right now, Sac State is not putting up any defensive danger, not really depossessing USF. USF is rather losing the ball on their own.
Clearance by Sac State. Kept in here. Beth Ann Perry for Sydney Cooper. And the goalkeeper comes right out to get it. Kaylin Evans all the way down the field looking for one of her teammates. Not able to find him. Header in the back line. Chasing there is Bianca Code. Played at the San Francisco Elite Academy. One of the first Elite Academy players to go on to play as a San Francisco Don. The Elite Academy, of course, a developmental academy where you happen to be at the helm, Joe, but really developing youth soccer players to have college soccer careers and to have semi-professional to professional careers later in life here in the city, developing the local talent, the real youth of San Francisco.
Absolutely. And tonight we have so many youth in the crowd tonight, particularly young girls, and it's always fantastic for them to see these role models in these collegiate players that they could be like one day. So hopefully they're inspired and they shoot for higher for themselves.
Throw in for San Francisco, coming up on just under 3 minutes to play. Again, it is 4-0. San Francisco with 4 goals in the opening 17 minutes of this game. It was a span of 8 minutes of which they scored those goals as well. And we'll give you all of that just coming up at halftime. I'll tell you a little bit more, but Micaiah Madison is becoming an assist machine. She already had 4 before coming into this game, and she has 3 within a span of 8 minutes for her teammates. The unselfish play of Micaiah Madison and Samantha Jennings just continuing to put them in the back of the net with 2 tonight.
Well, I'd like to see how many of those assists Micaiah Madison have gone directly to Samantha Jennings. I would venture to say the majority of them. But what'd you say, 4 goals in 7-8 minutes? That's defeating, to say the least, for the Sac State defense and team, and they really have not recovered from it yet.
So we've got about 2 minutes to go in this first half. San Francisco, of course, making a plethora of changes as well, probably having an eye for Sunday for Hawaii coming to town as well. Sacramento State will host St. Mary's at home at 1 o'clock. And then they'll kick off their conference schedule at Eastern Washington, who won the title last year of the Big Sky. And again, this Sacramento State side, they've been to the Big Sky tournament 3 years in a row, trying to make it 4 years in a row. And in conference tournaments, which we don't see in the West Coast Conference, anything can kind of happen. So even if you just become the 6th place team and just kind of sneak into the quarterfinal, that's one thing there. Sac State lost in the first round last year in the tournament, but they were a quarterfinalist of that tournament. And again, looking to go back to the time of 2005 to 2007, where they made it 3 times in a row as well, which was their first NCAA tournament appearance in 2007. For all of you geeks and nerds out there that kind of like this history of different types of things. But it is important, and it does show the history of the players that came before the players that helped build these 2 outstanding programs. Emily Pye looking for Sloss, dealt with here by Sac State, a clearance down the field. Pye will get another touch, and the clock clicks down here from 10 seconds all the way down. And a terrific first half from the San Francisco Dons. However, Sacramento State was the brighter side between the 2 teams. San Francisco's Samantha Jennings scoring her 5th goal of the year in the 9th minute, assisted by Micaiah Madison. Then Micaiah Madison answering exactly 2 minutes later in the 11th minute off of an assist from Izzy Lukin. Then after that, in the 17th minute, it was a goal by Samantha Jennings, assisted by Micaiah Madison, and then Kalena Teufel scored a terrific goal just 2 minutes later, assisted by Micaiah Madison. So she is definitely odds-on player of the first half. We'll see if she'll be the player of this match. My name is Charles Wolin. I'm alongside Joe Dugan here on the W.TV. At halftime, it is San Francisco 4, Sacramento State 0. Don't want to go anywhere. Grab your favorite snack, beverage, or whatever you want. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Bring out your color with the style and protection of new Valspar stain with all-weather defense that's rain-ready in just 4 hours. This is stain changing, and change starts at Lowe's.
Stadium brings you free, exclusive live college games, daily studio shows, highlights, and full game replays sent to all your favorite platforms and built for you, the viewer. A new way to watch sports. Stadium, welcome to the game.
And even though Rocket Mortgage is completely online, you're never alone. So if you need help or if you have questions, you can always call or chat with a home loan expert. They're really with you, every step of the way.
Rocket Mortgage, America's largest mortgage lender.
Hey Dons fans, I'm Sydney Ellis.
I'm Michelle Feinberg.
Season ticket sales for women's soccer are open to the public.
On the turn, the strike, and a great save again by Olivia Camera.
So come buy your tickets and support your Dons to victory on the pitch.
Maya Madison! Izzy Lukin scores for San Francisco. Service. Oh, and it's in the back of the net for San Francisco.
Bring out your color with the style and protection of new Valspar stain with all-weather defense that's rain-ready in just 4 hours. This is stain changing, and change starts at Lowe's.
And even though Rocket Mortgage is completely online, you're never alone. So if you need help or if you have questions, you can always call or chat with a home loan expert. They're really with you, every step of the way.
Rocket Mortgage, America's largest mortgage lender.
Hey Dons fans.
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 Another season has started.
Welcome to Negawesco Stadium here in the heart of San Francisco.
It's a new look for this USF team.
Get your USF All Sports Pass today.
Come out, support, cheer, and make some noise.
Oscom on the block.
And a great save by Olivia Camera. Giuseppe, San Francisco.
6 sports.
Rainbow Jam.
Over 90 games.
Alexander. Rainbow.
And 1 incredible year.
They win the West Coast Conference title.
So come buy your tickets and support your Dons to victory.
And a walk-off from Villa Roman.
Bring out your color with the style and protection of new Valspar stain with all-weather defense that's rain-ready in just 4 hours. This is stain changing, and change starts at Lowe's.
Let's do what we're called to do with wisdom and excellence.
Pick past the low-hanging fruit and find new ways to reach higher levels. Let's leave a spot at the table
for the least included and the most likely to be the first of their kind and the last in line.
Let's look around from the heart of San Francisco and see the city for what it is. Passionate,
entrepreneurial,
inclusive, like no other place on earth. Let's change the world from here.
So with Rocket Mortgage, someone was always there whenever we needed help.
That's why they're #1 in customer satisfaction.
Sounds like they make the experience seamless.
Rocket Mortgage, proud supporter of college athletics.
It was there when you heard your favorite song for the first time. It's there when you want to hear it again. It was there when your favorite host gave you your chance to win those impossible tickets.
Oh my God, you're kidding! The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
What is it? The iHeartRadio app. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all in one place.
We've got a great matchup for you.
Touchdown! There may be a better play the rest of the day.
I know what I did in that box.
Tiger will win a major again.
Impossible shot! That's what I'm talking about.
What if we told you that Stadium brings you free, premium sports, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with exclusive live college games.
Maybe the play of the day in college football.
Daily studio shows.
This is the pinnacle of the sport. If you don't want to fight, don't come here.
Highlights and full game replays sent to all your favorite platforms. Modern, personalized, and built for you, the viewer. A new way to watch sports. Stadium, welcome to the game.
Welcome back to Negewesco Stadium here in the heart of San Francisco as the San Francisco Dons have a 4-goal lead against Sacramento State Hornets. Joe Dugan caught up with Jim Millender at the half to hear his thoughts on his team's progress after the first 45 minutes.
I'm here with Coach Millender. Coach Millender, good first half. A lot of minutes for some second-team players. Is anything going to change in the second half?
Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't happy how we started, but I thought after the first 15 minutes we changed our shape a little bit and we had a lot better results. We created a lot of chances, so we just got to play better. We scored 4 goals and you take it away and you say, oh, well, they did well the first half. But we the first 15 minutes, we could have been down a goal because we weren't prepared. So the second half, the goal here is to be consistent in the second half. Whoever comes on as a sub, we got to play at a high level, and we want to score some more goals tonight.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that game strategy is not going to change regardless of who's in the game.
Never. Everybody knows their roles. We just got to go, they got to go out and do their role and play at a high level.
Okay. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
And back to Charles in the booth.
Well, thank you very much for that, Joe. And as you can hear, Jim Millender sticking with what he's got. He is a man that sticks to his game plan, and he's been doing this for 25 years as a college coach as well. So,
well, I would expect nothing less than for Jim Millender to say they're going to go continue the game plan regardless of who's on the field. They're going to really play their style. They're going to play their pace and dictate the game. That's their strategy.
The shot comes in here by Littlefield, and Littlefield's ball was sailing for a corner, and it's cleared away by San Francisco for a throw instead. It's Herrera. Back into the mix, looking for Kim Bustillos. And this is Autumn Smithers.
Fantastic turn by Autumn Smithers. In traffic, right in the middle of the field.
San Francisco scoring 4 goals in a matter of 8 minutes. 2 of them scored by Samantha Jennings. 7 on the year now for Say, and 3 assists by Micaiah Madison. She's had 4 so far this year, and now she'll jump that up to 7 on the year. The statistics for those 2 players are just absolutely off the charts early here in this non-conference schedule. It is really a sight to behold. And again, it's not just this year that Jim Millender and this program have those 2. It's also next year too.
That's
and
right.
It's almost one of the most exciting times probably this program has ever seen.
Well, Jim Millender is very happy with this recruiting class. It gets stronger next year with some outstanding national caliber players coming in. But, he's not looking forward to next year right now. He's looking forward to this game, this second half right now, and then league coming up very shortly.
Here's Littlefield onto her right foot, and now Kim Bustillos. Right there is Marie Marlowe. This is fantastic stuff from the left back. Marie Marlowe continuing on, finds Samantha Jennings. She's on a hat trick, and now spreads the ball to Izzy Lukin. Her cross, and, her shot on her right foot. Almost thought she was going to bring it back to her left. And sails into the netting.
And like you said, Marlowe was making a fantastic run. I followed the ball, but she fell, and I'm not sure if she ran into someone or if she just stubbed her foot, caught the turf, and fell. But she was making a fantastic advanced run, only to not be able to complete it because she fell. Referee rightly calling the ball back because of the tug by Sacramento State on Autumn Smithers. No advantage was it had, so USF Dons get a free kick. You could hear Jim Millender in our halftime interview really asking, demanding, requiring his team to be better with the ball, possess the ball better, handle the ball better, keep the ball and have more consistent passes, more consecutive passes. And that's what they're trying to do here in the second half. He's not satisfied because of the score is 4-0. It's the style of play that he's focused on.
And that's an important thing, especially in the way that the game is going, the modern game is going, especially when you're teaching the youth as well. And again, you have experience in this, is you kind of want to teach them to play out of the back. You want to teach them to play with the ball and have a ball at their feet, because some nations are lapping the United States, even though on the women's side, of course, we're the defending champions. But on the men's side, we need some work.
Well, absolutely, and we call it progressive possession. You want to possess the ball, but you have a purpose behind that possession. You want to progress down the field with combination plays, switching the play, looking for the width, packing the flanks, and ultimately, obviously, trying to score goals and win the game. But there's a style in which, Jim is trying to play here. He has the athletes, best recruiting class since he's been here. And again, regardless of who's on the field, he's going to demand that they play that style.
Here is Michaela Reed, all the way back to her goalkeeper, Evans. Brought down here by Weeks.
And Weeks, one of the fantastic players that Jim Millender has recruited, and she's ever present in that center of midfield.
Here's Izzy Lucan, back to Kat Hill. Again, a freshman and a captain of this team.
Which says a lot about her leadership. It's a great combination for her, Kat Hill, to have Autumn Smithers right in front of her, giving her additional guidance, vision. Autumn Smithers played center back last year, was conference all-year, I believe, or all-conference, I should say. Hailing from the West Coast Soccer Club, run by my good friend and former teammate Troy Dyack, who's done a fantastic job producing a plethora of quality players, Micaiah Madison being another one from the West Coast Soccer Club. Here's Izzy Lucan, who hails from the Placer United Soccer Club.
Bustillos, her ball for Sarah Sherwood goes over her outstretched foot, and now a throw-in for San Francisco on the far side. Marie Marlowe to take.
Bustillos is nice and tidy with the ball when she has it, but look where she is. She's 30, 40 yards away from goal. A player like that, she needs service, a better service in more advanced parts of the field, so when she has the ball, then she can take on a defender in a much more dangerous area and perhaps get a shot on goal. But she's never going to get a shot on goal way out there on the sideline, away from goal.
Here's Marlowe to take, onto her left foot, looking for Samantha Jennings. Throw into San Francisco, just in front of the San Francisco bench.
And one of the challenges that I alluded to earlier in the game is for the USF Dons to continue to play their strategy while not dropping to the level of this Sac State team. With all due respect to them, they are just not the same level of the Dons. And oftentimes when a team is up 4-0, you tend to kind of take it a little bit easy, gain some complacency, and this is something you could tell Jim Millender in that interview who was just not going to have any part of.
This is Izzy Lucan. Step overs, crosses the ball in on the left. Shoulder to shoulder now. And cleared away. Kat Hill keeps possession nicely. Into the feet of Carly Weeks. Turned by the freshman. And brought down here. All the way to the left side for Marie Marlowe, who is, again, experiencing her first collegiate start at left back and very much enjoying that as well. Kat Hill into the feet of Autumn Smithers. Back to Kat Hill. Nice little 1-2 out of the back, looking for Samantha Jennings. And here comes Sac State through the feet of Caitlin Prothy. Here's Littlefield. And we're just 10 minutes into this second half. Samantha Jennings with 2 goals. Helena Teufel with a goal. And Micaiah Madison with a goal so far for San Francisco this evening. It's a diagonal out of the air, looking for Kim Bustillos, and throw in for San Francisco. Smithers steals the ball away from Sherwood. Onward for Marlowe. Marlowe onto her left foot, looking to find Beth Ann Perry. Stolen in central midfield, though. Tackle just in front of the 18. And this is Littlefield in the corner. Littlefield, and right there is Olivia Camera. Madison hauled down. Bustillos chasing. And again, Joe, you're right. Bustillos is just kind of up alone on an island by herself. She really needs some help from her teammates, because her class and her quality, you can tell. She is a very, very special player. And it's a little bit disappointing that they're not able to play to her a little bit more and get a couple more pieces here to try to make this thing work for her.
Yeah, they're really not staying connected to her. Anytime she gets the ball, like you said, she's almost on her own almost all the time. Really need players overlapping her, playing under her, playing over her, so she has options off the ball. Because she can make things happen on her own, but she certainly can't win the game on her own. See, USF is possessing the ball nicely, but can they break the midfield defensive line of Sac State? So far, they've been very happy to keep the ball in their own half. And they have not been so successful in breaking that midfield line of Sacramento State here in the second half.
Throw in for San Francisco, just in front of our commentary booth here at Mega Wesco Stadium. Taken by Cat Hill. Switch of the field there. And the switch of the field by Taylor Jackson results in giving the ball away here. Almost falling to Bustillos, and Olivia Camera again is there.
USF, and you can hear Jim Millender probably from the far side of the field saying, press up, push up, get the back line up. You know, if nothing else, this higher pressure that USF's going to apply, and just did apply, is going to get them back in the game. There's a bit of a lull, and USF is not really playing their game the way Jim Millender is so adamant about playing.
Perry looking to win the header. Clearance up in the air. Here's Sacramento State's Caitlin Prophet.
One thing you notice about Sacramento State is they don't have a lot of movement off the ball, so the player with the ball doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, that was a case right there where the player had no other option but to try to do it on her own, because she didn't have a lot of options off the ball. You could see 3-4 defenders around the Sacramento State attacker.
Well, we're in the 58th minute here on the W.TV. Charles Wolin, Joe Dugan with you again. Another foul. It's going to be heading Sacramento State's way here. They get a dangerous set-piece opportunity. again, this Sacramento State team, they did bother San Francisco very much in the opening 7 minutes leading up until the San Francisco goal that was actually just against the run of play, to be honest with you. And there were 2 corners in succession. They were both on the ground, and then San Francisco were able to find a way through as well. This is taken by Shea Valençon. He swerves the ball in, and out comes Olivia Camara. Valençano.
Olivia Camara did very well to attack that ball. She didn't wait for it to come to her. She really went out and got that ball. That's what you want to see out of your goalkeeper.
This is Prothey again. Looking for her teammate in it. Littlefield. I've been impressed by Littlefield. She takes the corners for this Sacramento State side. Her and Kylie Kim-Bustillos, both from Hawaii, potentially maybe playing in state ball or something like that together, because their link-up play is decent, and she's another really good piece to this Sacramento State side as well. Just under half an hour to go now. Not sure if that was a dummy by Samantha Jennings. Again, on a hat-trick tonight for San Francisco.
I think it was. I don't know if Izzy Lucan was expecting that, but she reacted well. Coming up just a little bit short, but we have a nice play here.
Jennings is offside there from the header from Lucan.
Quick restart by Sacramento State, catching Dons a little bit on their heels.
Here is Jennings. Jennings for Lucan. Lucan, her cross, and Kat Hill's there. Goalkeeper spills it for a second.
And that was a nice cross. It really wasn't where it needed to be, though. Izzy Lucan needs to get a little bit deeper and pull the ball back. They call that a negative cross, where they pull it back a little bit behind the goalkeeper. Instead, that was to the goalkeeper. Good effort, but just has to be a little bit better than that.
Substitution here for Sac State with 27 minutes to go in this game. Again, San Francisco, 4-0. 4 of these goals were scored from the 8-minute all the way to the 17th minute for this San Francisco side. I believe the player on the field now is Sosa, who was booked in the first half for a couple of infringements, giving up free kicks here and there. Erika Sosa, here she is. Able to hold the ball up, pushing against Kat Hill. Shoulder to shoulder there with Caitlin Prothey, her teammate. It was a bit awkward as they ran into each other there. And so Olivia Camara throws out here to Izzy Lucan. Lucan on her left foot, cutting in from the right side. Lucan, and she runs right into Julia Herrera. No call, says the referee, and play on. Fair play. This is Sarah Sherwood. Looking for Herrera again. Herrera continuing the run for Sosa. And a smart play there by Jaden Tamayo, who cleared the ball right into the pathway of Sosa. Tamayo wearing the number 7 shirt today. Usually wears the number 18 shirt. She'll stay in that back line for San Francisco. Also a freshman from San Jose, just around the area, a local product. So many options to Coach Jim Millender's side. Emily Pye in the back line now for San Francisco. Headed up in the air by Carly Weeks. Here's Tamayo, taking her time. There's Kalena Teufel trying to pull it back, but she loses out here to Julia Herrera. And Herrera's ball, which is intended but for Ali Zwirling, goes over her foot. It's Nicole Kelsey to take the throw in. As Cassidy George makes her way onto the field for San Francisco. And Samantha Kerwood-Wagner now at the striker position for San Francisco.
And Wagner showed some good flashes in the games past, so look for her to be an attacking player who really wants to get on the score sheet.
Christina Krebel now in the match for San Francisco, the junior. All the way back for Tamayo. Into the feet of George, who looks to be playing in the holding midfield position. Oh, Jim Millender having a chance to play players in all sorts of positions they don't usually play, which is kind of a nice thing. When you're an outside back, you can also play defensive midfield or central midfield, and sometimes players start as an outside back and then go into central midfield after the first couple of years in college soccer. You often see that as a consistent theme.
And you can see that play there by Sosa, really dispossessing the defender from USF, not expecting it. You have to expect that in the back side, the back half of your field when you're just so casually playing with the ball. She needs to release that ball much, much faster.
On here for Kerwood-Wagner and the goalkeeper, Kaylin Evans, able to run out. And Kerwood-Wagner still searching for her first goal on the year. She's looked very impressive at that striker position. Lots of faces that are very popular in the side with amazing goals and assists to their name. Madison, mainly Micaiah Madison and Jennings to replace. And so Kerwood-Wagner, it's almost a kind of a two-a-day for her to almost kind of break in as one of the strikers for the San Francisco side. Although a freshman, again, but she's got some really nice folks to mentor her before she really heads on for her next 3 years here.
Well, what I've liked about her is her work rate, and additionally, she stays in a position where when she does receive the ball, she's immediately dangerous. She's always around that 18-yard line, that 18-yard box. So look for her again to try to get on that score sheet. She's hungry, she's engaged, and she's willing to help her team get to this next level. Next level is going to be 4, 5, 6.
Here's Nicole Kelsey. And Cassidy George switching the field for Ashley Humphrey. On for Michaela Mercado. Ball sends all the way to the back line. For the goalkeeper, Evans, headed on by Mercado. Looking for Kerwood-Wagner. Now Cassidy George. Central midfield. Sac State just trying to get a few passes connected here. Having a tough time. And finally, Christina Krebel brings to ground Caitlin Prophy. But she might go into the book here, and she does.
And she certainly does. She missed the ball, so that looks probably a little worse than it was. And, caution is the right call there. Sac State isn't getting the ball forward real well, but they're not going away. They are being very tenacious in midfield and in defense. Now let's see if they can get something going in their offensive third.
Erica Munoz now back in the match here for Sacramento State. And Caitlin Prothy takes a seat. Prothy last year had quite the year for Sacramento State. In fact, she actually had 5 goals and an assist last year for this side. She is an influential player. It really hasn't been her night tonight. This is Michaela Reed. Another restart here for Sac State with just around 21 minutes to go. Taken by Shea Valenzano.
So this will be interesting if this is going to be a shot or try to chip it over the line of defense there. Looks like they tried to chip it over the line of defense, just didn't get far enough.
This is Christina Krabel. And now on for Kalena Teufel. They call her KK. Here is Kalena Teufel. Now onto her left foot. Back into the feet of Christina Krabel. Krabel crosses the ball in. Far side kept in there by Ashley Humphrey. Brought down. The shot comes in from distance. Oh! What a goal!
That was a
San Francisco 5. Sacramento State 0. Michelle Feinberg, Cassidy Kallmeyer.
And that starts off with a fantastic cross into the box. And then a fantastic strike and finish. And that's probably the second or third time the Sac State goalie has struggled with balls above her head. But take nothing away from the strike. It was a fantastic strike and finish.
5 for San Francisco this evening. 20 minutes to play. Cassidy Kallmeyer with the goal. It's really a fine evening here for this program tonight. You don't really see this scoreline very often, and so especially here at home.
And that's why it's always fantastic for the fans here at Niguesco Field, especially these young female soccer players who are looking up to these Lady Dons. Scoring 5 goals is always inspirational. It's inspirational for me.
Kallmeyer looking for Kerwood Wagner, and the ball was cleared away as Kerwood Wagner had a step on the beat there. Samantha Kerwood Wagner looking for her first goal as a San Francisco Don tonight. On for Emily Pye. All the way back to Cassidy George.
And you can see Jim Millender continuing to coach when it's 5-0, because he wants his players and his team to play a faster pace of play, keeping Sac State on their heels. And it's worked the last 10 minutes. They have been playing better. They have been attacking, getting space in the width, getting the ball across the goal, taking some shots on goal, and results in a goal.
Last time these two teams met 6 years ago, the result was 4-1 in favor of San Francisco. Again, it's been 6 years since these two teams have met one another. And again, San Francisco leads the overall series. 9 wins for them, 4 wins for Sacramento State. Again, this is the 14th meeting between the two sides. But in the last 5, it's been 3 wins for San Francisco and 2 for Sacramento State. As you can see, a San Francisco player down on the ground, taking her time to get back up. It is Cassidy George here. She just maybe took a small elbow from Allie Zwirling. The last 5 games for Sacramento State, a tie, 2 losses, a win, and a loss. 1-5-1 on the year for San Francisco. There's 3 wins in a row and then 2 losses. 2 losses last weekend to both Oklahoma schools in matches that Jim Millender in our pre-flash interview felt like they would have been able to get something from. But again, a good lesson for this San Francisco side, still looking for this first NCAA tournament appearance ever under Jim Millender. Again, a guy that was a coach for 10 years in the Pac-10, now the Pac-10, now Pac-12 at USC, coaching for 10 years from 96 to 2006, 8 tournament appearances for his sides during that time. Multiple national team players that he developed as well. And the list goes on and on with the coaching career of Jim Millender and his passion for developing soccer players and his passion for the game. But with that being said, in a game like this, Joe, with a route kind of being on, do you feel like this could be a year for this team to really kick on and make this thing happen? Because 3 years ago, we were sitting here thinking they're going to be able to do it 2015 year, which is their best year in the program history, and just barely, kind of cruelly, not being able to get in.
Well, I won't comment on one game. While this is a fantastic game on the score sheet for the Dons, I won't comment or take away from this one game, but I will say I think this is the year the Dons will break into the tournament. This is the deepest roster, the most athletic roster Jim Millender's had since he's been here. They are deeper than ever. They've got a lot of offensive attacking weapons. I think this could be the year, but they do have their road, a very tough road ahead of them. They play Santa Clara in the first league opener, who is number 2 in the country in RPI. They play here at Negoesco, but I believe they're number 8 in the country in terms of rankings. And they're, regardless, a very, very strong team. So they have a rough road ahead of them. If they don't win league, will the WCC get 2 or 3 teams in? Hopefully. A lot of quality soccer between Pepperdine, BYU, Santa Clara, USF in the WCC alone.
Don't forget about LMU.
Who's won the conference, I think, 2-3 years in the last 4 or 5? They always compete. It might not be the prettiest soccer, but they always compete and seem to get results. Speaking of Jim Millender's career, having previously coached at LMU as well.
Throw in on the far side for Sacramento State on a chilly evening here in the San Francisco Bay Area. 3 miles away from the Pacific Ocean at Negoesco Stadium. Myself and Joe Dugan will be on the call here for you at 1 p.m. on Sunday against Hawaii. It will be our Hawaiian shirt day as well. Our traditional Hawaiian shirt day.
And shorts.
And shorts.
Count me in.
Of course.
Tommy Bahama.
Well, here's Ashley Humphrey. Her teammates cheering her on with every touch. She must be a fan favorite, not just of the fans, but of her teammates too.
And that was a fantastic tackle by a Sacramento State defender. And here is Sacramento State not going away, really trying their best to advance the ball. Just failing on that final pass.
They'll have a throw-in deep inside San Francisco's half. Again, for Sacramento State, they beat Nevada last weekend for their first win of 2018, 3-2, and then they lost heartbreakingly last Sunday in overtime against CSUN. And they played 3 overtime matches thus far.
Charles, do we have to say CSUN or can we say Northridge?
Well,
I don't know if people know who CSUN is.
Well, for all of you, nerdy, geeky people out there that, I've been talking to for a majority of the evening, the notes from their sports information folks say CSUN. Of course, we had that game for you on the men's side. What was a thrilling match, 3-2. But they are listed as CSUN. They like to be known as CSUN. And I asked when the rebrand happened, and they said it was just about a year ago in 2017, which I guess may have gone unnoticed. I don't know. But anyway, here comes a caution. I think Cassidy George looking at the referee. And the caution is given there, and it's given to Jessica Mann. Now, Jessica Mann comes in here strong on the ground, and I think it's the way she gets back up and kind of pushes her shoulder into Cassidy George. What do you think?
Well, that's exactly what she got it for. The referee tends to see the second one. There wasn't a foul. There was a bit of a collision between her and the attacker. She retaliated a little bit, and that's exactly why she was cautioned.
Here's George. All the way to the back there for Jaden Tamayo. And it's another Sacramento State throw-in.
You know, while we do the halftime interviews, it's always good to get the view of the coach. But it'd be interesting to see post-game interview.
Totally. And I agree with you on that one.
Well, what I'm curious to know is if he's going to be happy. Far from over this game, but I would be curious to know, follow up on that halftime interview with Jim Millender, see if they improved from the first half, in his opinion. Taking care of the ball was one of his first priorities.
A chance to play some of the players that don't get a chance to normally play in the first 11, using a lot of his bench this evening as Cassidy George fouls Camila Fonseca, and it will now be a free kick here to Sac State. Going to be taken by Shea Valenciano.
And that was a fantastic free kick just over the defensive line of the USF Dons. Sac State did get ahead to it. Olivia Cameron had to come in with her right palm just to parry that ball outside the post. And you can see here, lovely ball just behind the line, and Sac State wins the header unopposed.
Valenzano with that service. Cleared away here by San Francisco. And crossed back on in, and it goes over Olivia Camera's net. 12 minutes, 17 seconds to go. There's going to be 5 changes for San Francisco on the far side as well. And this will probably see out the rest of the match for Coach Jim Millender's side. Sylvia Sloss back in the game. Michelle Feinberg, Sydney Cooper back in the game.
And Bianca Code.
Bianca Code as well. And Lauren Marin. Here's Lauren Marin. Diagonal over the top there by Nicole Kelsey. Minutes, 30 seconds to go on the clock. 5 goals to 0 for San Francisco. 2 of them scored by Samantha Jennings. 1 of them by Micaiah Madison. Another one by Kalena Teufel. And another one by Cassidy Kallmeyer. Micaiah Madison has 3 assists this evening. Samantha Jennings, 2 goals to add to her tally. 7 on the year. And for Micaiah Madison, adding 3 assists to her 4-7 on the season. Now, here is Sydney Cooper, and she's just offside. Good work there by Sydney Cooper. Hard coming in as a striker and having to fulfill that role and run right at defenders. Just coming off of the bench, as you've talked about before, Joe.
It is.
It's a challenging role.
It is. But you see these midfielders playing a lot of balls to feet. And look at the space behind the back line of the Sacramento State defense. There's a lot of space there. Look for USF to have a little bit more diagonals in behind that line of defense. The line of defense for Sac State is fairly high when USF has the ball in their own half. A lot of opportunity there. I think at this point, Sacramento State's a little perturbed. I think they're a little mad, as they should be. And I think they're going to play a little bit with more players up the field. They're going to give it a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a risk in the back, playing maybe 3 in the back and trying to get more players forward.
Well, just under 10 minutes to go now. Here's Bianca Code. Switching the field here to Sylvia Sloss. First touch onto her left foot. Diagonal to the final third. for Nicole Kelsey. Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, and referee says play on to Camila Fonseca. Puts the ball right into Ali Schwerling, and the offside flag is raised. You can hear Jim Millender continuing to coach his side from the sidelines.
Well, most teams, most successful teams are consistent, and that's what Jim Millender is going for, is consistency. Again, regardless of who's on the field or not. They want to play the same way. They want to keep driving. They want to play their game. They want to dictate the pace of the ball and the game by pushing the ball around, being consistent with their passes, consecutive possession as they progress up the field.
Restart now for San Francisco. Again, what's up next for San Francisco? They will host Hawaii on Sunday at 1 p.m. kickoff here. It'll be Hawaiian shirt day for you and me, Joe. You're going to wear your shorts, and so will I. And for Sac State, they host St. Mary's, another West Coast Conference foe, at 1 p.m. on Sunday in Sacramento at Hornet Field.
And you can see USF, 11 players behind the ball. And this is the discipline that good teams have.
Swerved in. Sylvia Sloss nudged off the ball a bit. Here's Camila Fonseca. Fonseca goes to ground, and she'll get herself a free kick.
And that's a pretty silly foul because USF had a defender between the player, the ball, and the goal. That foul didn't need to occur.
Well, again, this Sac State side still fighting, still going. Don't want to give up now. Still trying to maybe get something. And Fonseca, a kick out there. She obviously loves it. She'd like to have one today.
And this is a dangerous spot because this could be a shot or a cross.
Cross comes in. Emily Pye is right there. Cleared away by Lauren Marin. It's Jaden Tamayo with some good work defensively. Colmeyer for Sydney Cooper, and she just can't keep her first touchdown. It's a tough one on the turn there. Good stuff this, Sac State, and they get another restart from a dangerous spot, and almost in the same spot they had it on the left side. It's Alyssa Baena.
And if you give up too many of these free kicks in these dangerous spots, teams are going to make you pay. So USF is really walking a fine line here.
Excuse me, it is Alyssa Baena. I do apologize, the sophomore from Austin. 2 in the wall for San Francisco. It's going to be taken by Skylar Littlefield. Littlefield service. It's driven in there. And again, you saw her drive those in on the corner kicks. And it's a technique I haven't seen in a long time, if from a set piece. But it's actually quite a beautiful, beautiful hit by Skylar Littlefield.
Well, she got all of that. And anytime you drive a ball like that from fairly close range, so much can happen. Ricochets, deflections, and next thing you know, the ball's in the back of the net.
Well, it's almost like you're hitting the ball with a golf club. It's like a club.
A short backswing, hit it low and hard.
Sorry for the boring golf reference there, folks. Throw in for San Francisco on the far side. Just around 5 minutes to play now, in the 85th minute. Again, the first meeting between the two sides in 6 years. It's Bianca Code. She's nudged off the ball there by Littlefield.
Really good work rate by Bianca there. She was in a bad position to be outrun, but then she caught up, winning the ball back out of pure hard work. You can see a little lull in the game here, not a lot of consecutive passes on either side.
This is Emily Pye. She kicks on, wants to get this thing started and into the final third of Sac State right away. Pye looking for Sloss. Down by Nicole Kelsey. And now a throw in for San Francisco. Here is Michelle Feinberg switching the field to Code. Code on her right foot, now onto her left foot. Tricky stuff here by Code. And she wins a free kick.
I think we'll see a caution here for maybe a two-footed tackle. Bianca cuts it to her left, and then the tackle comes in, and I don't see a foul there, in all fairness to Sacramento State. She won the ball. Maybe she got it for the follow-through, but she lost the ball first. That's a tough call if I'm Sacramento State.
Well, it's Elise Kruger. She's in the book now. A sophomore from Albany. It'll be taken by Bianca Code, and there's 4 on the wall for Sac State. It was from a similar distance, just out a little wider, that Kallmeyer scored. It's Bianca Code, and it's over the bar.
And that's the right thing to do, to have a shot on goal. It takes too fine of a touch to try to finesse that ball just over the line of defense when the ball is so close. So that's the right decision to make. Unfortunately, Bianca Code could not keep that on frame.
This is Herrera. And now Pye. It's a great diagonal for Sydney Cooper. Throw in now for San Francisco. It's Pye for Sloss. Sloss with her ball at her feet. She loses it out. She loses out. This is Pye. And San Francisco continues to maintain possession here with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. It has really been their night this evening. A flurry of 4 goals in the opening 7 minutes. And look at those step-overs by Kalena Teufel to put in Sydney Cooper. And what a good final ball that was by the freshman.
Fantastic. That diagonal run almost got to the end of it, but not quite. Nice build-up. Unfortunately, just a little short there.
Here's Code. And now Cooper. Cooper. Great through ball as well. For Kallmeyer, maybe looking for her second.
She certainly is. Pushing up the field as a left back. She wants that second goal. When you get the taste of the first one, you want the second one.
Absolutely. And if you can get a goal as an outside back, you're doing your job. This is Cooper. Once more. Minute, 30 seconds to go. Again, San Francisco with a flurry of goals within a span of 8 minutes. 2 of them by Jennings, 1 by Micaiah Madison, 3 assists by Micaiah Madison in that little distance as well tonight. So, again, clock clicking down to the final minute here. San Francisco is sitting in the driver's seat for the rest of the weekend after a tough weekend last weekend in Oklahoma in Stillwater. But again, the Demons haven't really stayed with this side. They've kind of shaken things off and got right back on their feet. And it's the test of character.
And it looks like USF Dons will get a caution on this, and the player there got this for kicking the ball away. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I think that was Cassidy Kallmeyer with that. Doink. Well, final 42 seconds on the clock. Every Sacramento State player is up.
And I guarantee you, every single person on the USF Dons wants a clean sheet. They want to prevent this ball from going to the goal.
It's going to be driven again. And there's Olivia Camera.
Very well driven for Sacramento State. Unfortunately for them, straight to Olivia, the goalkeeper.
Oh, it's Littlefield again with that service. Once more, Pye's first touch kind of lets her down a little bit. Kelsey just defending in here. The shot comes in, comes off Pye. Camera comes out to it. It's going to be a corner kick to Sac State. Can they get this thing off here in the final seconds? Behind the ball, it's right there. It won't count even if it does go in. And at the end of 90 minutes, San Francisco puts five past Sacramento State tonight in a flurry of goals. It was really a special night for the San Francisco Dons. Samantha Jennings opened the scoring. Micaiah Madison with a second. Right after that, you saw Jennings go again. Kalena Teufel adding one. And then finally, Cassidy Kohlmeyer capped things off with a wonder strike in the second half. We'll see you on Sunday at 1 p.m. right here at Negosco Stadium as San Francisco takes on Hawaii right here on the W.TV. Sacramento, they're going to host St. Mary's. The Gales at 1 p.m. on Sunday as well. Thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast and helping to grow the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America. We appreciate your patronage. It really does go a long way, and it does help grow the game. So, from San Francisco's Negosco Stadium, for Joe Dugan and for the rest of our broadcast team, Katie Morgan and Wu Nguyen, our executive producers, everybody back in the studio putting this one together, our replay machine, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, and all that jazz. It is San Francisco 5, Sacramento State 0. Good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening.